What's going on? This is my 1986 Toyota Corolla GTS that's been converted to a Levin front end and a 20 valve 4AGE swap. We're going to start with all the bad stuff first just to get that out of the way. Worst rust spot. Definitely this guy right here. Other than that, there's, let's see, this little one here. Not too bad. And then the kind of the back of the cowl that always gets rusted is pretty bad now. Moving on back, got a little bit of surface rust here, and of course the fenders are pretty bad. Let's see. You can. You definitely can see that. You can see the ground through the pockets, but fortunately that's about it. There's not really anything on the underside of the car. The frame rails are straight. Yeah, this is how you do the trunk. It's a fiberglass. It's pretty nice. And very secure. White line, Koki tails. JDM rear bumper. It's got a rear Devil Run bash bar, made by the same guy who did the cage and some of the other bracing. Yeah, so we're gonna go in here. There's also a rear brace. The battery is mounted behind the passenger. Got bucket seats and Takata harnesses. Well, on one side, the other is Crow Industries. And then, what was that? You have a S2000 dash. I think it's AP1. Everything works from your fuel light to your trip computer. It even makes a little sound when you reset the trip computer, but I guess I can just show that in a sec when I actually start it. One thing I did notice on my drive today is the oil temp is a bit intermittent. Sometimes it'll just read at the top, but the oil pressure is always accurate and it's never done, led astray. Fenders pretty jaggedy. Sometimes they get caught on these big old meaty tires, and it kind of does that to them. Yeah, it won't come with this. This is a sentimental thing from my first JDM car, but everything else definitely will. Here's your coolant overflow. Radiator with not one but two fans. Big ass oil cooler relocation. As you can see, it goes straight to the filter, which has been changed super recently, less than 500 miles ago. You got the AE86 Fight Club headers. They sound amazing, especially when you're on throttle. ITGs with the stock AE111. Blacktop carbs. And then this is a brace actually from a Honda Fit that was retrofitted to work on this, and I think it looks pretty good and it works pretty good too. You got a T3 brake cylinder kind of guard. There is the booster. There's no yeah, all braided lines for everything, including brake lines. Oh yeah, I mean, you can see right into the brakes because someone cut out this, and obviously you got stitch welding going on all over the entire chassis. Another interesting thing that's not there is the firewall. It's actually a Teflon piece that was formed to make it easier to do. Back before they had the Dizzy relocation kit, they would have it just all the way back in the back of the engine usually, since it's front wheel drive. It's another little piece of Teflon here, although it's when it gets wet, kind of does that. No wipers, so no driving in the rain, sorry. Let's see. Yeah, really nice cage, kind of what you want. Buddy Club seat rails, and then pretty complete interior. As you can see from the top up, it's flocked. There's one little crack in the dash, but other than that, super clean. Clock doesn't work, but the one on the dash does. This is the kill switch. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you gotta turn it and pull it. Car will not start. So just in case you get a random ignition event or something, now car will start. All right, I think that's probably it. Kind of show you everything in the interior. Yeah, from the front seats back, it's completely stripped. Another cutout bit is the parcel shelf. Yeah. I'll show you this real quick. Spare wheel well. I fixed some rust on it myself. It was just a tiny bit of surface rust, so no big deal. Usually those get pretty bad. This one's pretty good. It is missing one of the license plate lights. I don't know if your state has that as a law. Mine does. The other one works though. Extremely aero. Turn signal delete, or sorry, side marker delete, as you do. And then I did this fender myself with metal Bondo the proper way. You know, it's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was. It was barely even there. So without further ado, let's start this thing up. I got a T3 gear selector, a Momo, I think it's a Fittipaldi. It's a 92 date, really nice. All right, let's start this thing up. So ignition procedures, turn, and then, and press. Most of the time it'll just start with one little press, but on really hot days, I've found sometimes you gotta just give it a little bit of gas and then you're good. So yeah, unfortunately, the oil temperature is not reading correctly right now. I can see that, but it does light up. You can't tell in the video, but it does. I can promise you that. Oil pressure gauge works good. Yeah, this thing is super sick. Ready to go. So for temperature, you want to get it to about there. About a little bit more than the third before you do anything crazy. It'll never go past half, but if it does, and this is a double switch. Basically, if it gets to a certain degree in the engine compartment, it'll automatically turn on. But if it's a hot day and you want to have it on anyways, just press this button. You can actually change it from miles an hour to kilometers an hour. And then the trip computer, I'm actually not going to reset it because I just filled the tank completely, so it just kind of gives me a good, estimate of how much fuel I have left. It gets about like 28, 29 miles per gallon, depending if you're fucking romping on it. But yeah, let's go to the bay. It just runs great. Just one little walk around. Oh yeah. Sabon hood. It's numbered. That's not focusing. Number 846 out of 1,000, pretty sick. You got hood pins. I'm gonna actually just do that. Show you how that's done, because they're a little finicky. Yeah. Yep. Turn on the lights. Like I said, one of them isn't working, but I just dug a little bit deeper. I actually found the model number for the HID kit. But yeah, works good. I'll turn on the turn signals just to show you. Yeah, so fully functioning Levin swap. yeah, that's about it. If you got any other questions, just let me know. Happy to ask or answer.